Alright, Nickonites, here we go. Third set on Eye of the Storm. And I've come up with a better way of sinking than my stupid little swish thing. Yes, I'm going to sink as soon as the Korean guy hits accept on the blue box. Here we go. Accept. There we go. And it looks like Cal is down at the 8 o'clock position yet again. Man, he loves that 8 o'clock position. He's down there in orange, and up at the 2 o'clock position in red is Type B, a good blood color. Type B blood. Red. Yeah, whatever. So yes, epic new sponsor, I have to say. This is a very good sponsor for the OSL, Korean Air. Very big, especially when you compare it to the other companies that have hosted OSLs in the past. This might be the biggest sponsor since Pringles and the 2006 MSL. But yeah, very big sponsor. I'm definitely expecting the finals to be epic. I think they're going to parachute the guys in from the Korean Air. Like some guy at Korean Air is going to say, "Have a nice flight." He's going to pull a crank, and then the guy like Jaedong's going to fly down in a parachute, get stuck in a tree or something. Man, it's going to be great. Type B is going diagonally once again. He wants to find that probe. Very good strategy for Zerg these days to go diagonally, find that probe. And I'd say this map is a little bit more friendly to Protoss players than Fighting Spirit was, just because it's easier to get that Forge Fast expand on. And the third gas is a little bit easier to take because there's a nice big choke point that you can throw down some cannons in front of. Of course, it's not as easy to run back and forth between the third base as it is on Fighting Spirit, but hey, whatever. So Type B, because he's going diagonally like this, he's going to find Cal down there with his Overlord. And yes, we'll see if Cal can do it. Cal, can you make sure that we have some Protoss players in the round of 16? That would be pretty awesome, actually, to see Cal in this OSL round of 16. Cal has always been one of my favorite Protoss players, but really, he's just not really consistent enough to win championships. I mean, he got close in the last MSL, of course, and he got in second place of the 2008 MSL. He lost to Jaedong in that, too, so Jaedong has kind of been the bane of his existence. But he's a very good player, especially when he's focused, when he knows he wants a championship. There's almost no stopping him, unless he goes against Jaedong, of course. Spawning pool coming up, and Cal is seeing everything that's going on down in here, and he's going to try to take down another drone, I think. I saw a drone with a little bit less health, so I think he's trying to go in there with that probe and kill the drone. Bloodthirsty probe. He is trying to kill another drone, but being fended off yet again. Type B is not that stupid. I don't think he's going to let a drone go down this early. Yes, I hear that when pro gamers, when they're practicing and they lose a mining unit this early, they say, okay, we're starting over, I just lost. So that should give you an idea of how important it is to keep all of your miners this early in the game. And Type B is going to take the 3 o'clock position here, feeling safe, knowing that Cal is probably going for a Forge Fast expand again. He's going to throw down those 3 hatcheries. And we're going to see a nice macro game from these two guys yet again. Here comes the cannon for Cal. Already has his base warping in. Almost said morphing again. Oh, man. Yes, I have hot dog day tomorrow at work, so there's something to look forward to. So as soon as I get done commentating, I'm going to fall into a coma. Wake up and eat hot dogs. Yay! Okay, let's look for the lair. Got to look for that lair, and that's what Cal is looking for right now. He wants to see, is Type B going to go for a Hydra break? Or is he going to go for a standard kind of into Spire build? I've got to look for that lair as much as possible. And if Type B wants to be tricky, he can morph the lair at the 3 o'clock position, the brand new base that's going to pop up. Although that could be a little bit late. He's probably going to morph it at the natural inside the main. He is morphing it inside the main. He's going to try to keep Cal from finding that as long as possible. And Cal going around looking for that third base. Apparently he doesn't know about the 3 o'clock base. I thought he went down there with a scout, but I don't think he did. He's just checking all the weird places that Type B will be throwing down a hatchery, although that isn't this weird on this map to go for the corners. On Eye of the Storm, it's very, very good to go for those corners. So you can basically get 4 free bases as a Zerg. If you get the corners and defend it with the sunken colonies, you can basically get 4 free bases. But other than that, it's hard to get bases as a Zerg on this map. So I can see why Type B is going for kind of the 3 o'clock position. If he can hold this 3 o'clock position against a bunch of +1 zealots or something, then he could take the corner and basically have 5 bases running. That'd be a much stronger build than the 4. Because if you get the 4 bases and you defend with Sunkens as a Zerg, you basically have to go for mutas on this map. And I don't think that Type B wants to pin himself down in that way. He wants to be a lot more adaptive, whatever. I don't know the word. I'm too tired. And it looks like Cal is going out with his Zealot, just a single Zealot, to look for those Zerglings. These Zerglings have speed upgrades, so they're going to be able to deny the Scout. And that's going to be important. Although I think that Cal did see that 3 o'clock base. So at least he's in the know as far as where the 3rd base is. He wants to know that it's not at a tricky hidden location, and now he knows that. So here's a +1 upgrading for Cal. And let's see, it looks like the cybernetics core almost said Citadel. The Citadel core is not spinning, so he's not going for a heavy Corsair build with +1 for those Corsairs, +1 attack for those. He's just going to go out, basically use this Corsair to scout, because he wants to know exactly what's coming his way. It looks like standard so far, but you can never be sure what a Zerg's going to do. Zerg, very strong early game against the Protoss. And Protoss know that. And you got to keep on the scouting information as much as possible, as long as possible. And if a Protoss makes it the mid game, they're in a much stronger position. And that's basically what PvZ is nowadays. Is Protoss trying to survive past the early game, and then once they get the mid game, it's about the Zerg trying to survive against the strong Protoss forces. So it's kind of a nice tug of war between the two races these days. There's the evolution chamber coming out, so we are going to see a bunch of Hydras coming out here to break this front soon enough. Bunch of Zealots out. They're going to be +1 upgraded from 2 gateways here from Cal, so he's going to go out with an awful lot of lots. And now he's coming up to fight off these Zerglings. A couple of Scourge flying past. And Cal is actually moving out with these Zealots, so he's going to try to go for this base, and Type B knows that. He knows that the Zealots are going out, so he's going to chase them with these Zerglings, trying to make it a little bit easier to defend against this. And there are a couple of Corsairs, but it looks like no more Corsair production for Cal. And Cal is going strictly 2 gateway Zealots here, so they're a very aggressive build from him right out of the gate. Speed just kicked in. I think he has +1 already. Backing off because he sees that there are 2 Sunkens morphing, so he might try to go for the natural. Yeah, he's going for the natural now. So Type B has got to morph in some Sunkens there. He has some nice SimCity there, and he's protecting with his Hydras, so it's going to be difficult for Cal to break this too. But Cal's build, much like a Terran does against a Zerg, is basically there just to make the Zerg throw down Sunkens, make them waste their minerals on that and put them behind on macro. And if you can get lucky, you can pretty much end the game if the Zerg did not throw down Sunkens. You can just run in there, kill a whole base with those +1 Zealots, and there you go. That's the game. So we'll see if he can get that done. He's, looks like Type B is moving out with these Hydras. He gets 1 Hydra surrounded, and Cal deciding to back off even more with these Zealots. He's probably going to run back to the base right now. I don't really see anything that he can get done having his Zealots out in the map like this. He's just going to be surrounded by these troops from Type B. And if he stays in here with his Zealot long enough, he's going to see the speed upgrade for the Overlords. So he's going to know this. Type B could definitely be preparing for a drop of some kind, or maybe just preparing for DTs. What's Type B going to do? He is running out into the map with all of his Hydras, trying to look for those pesky Zealots. He found the Zealots, but the Zealots forced to kind of back off here, and I think Cal should definitely do something with these Zealots. Either run back to the base or try to tackle another base, because getting them all destroyed by Hydras is definitely not going to help him at all. Still a couple of Corsairs here, only a couple. He's just waiting until he sees a bunch of mutas out, and he'd probably get back up his Corsair production right now just to fight off these mutas, because the mutas will definitely hurt the Templar count for Cal. And Cal, it's kind of strange of him to just leave a Zealot there, but that gets absolutely destroyed by the muta. And now he is running back to the base, so he does save about half of that army, I think. Maybe a little bit more than half. Has a couple of cannons inside of his base. Inside of his main, he has 3 cannons morphing there. He has another cannon morphing over at this location. A couple of cannons, so he wants to defend against any kind of muta harassment. Very strong against this type of build. from Cal, since Cal went for so many Zealots. Oh, nice storm from Cal. He catches pretty much all of those mutas, I think. And all the cannons are going to warp in right now, so there's not going to be a lot of muta harassment from Type B. And Type B is putting up another hatchery here, even more SimCity from him. So I think he is going to go for a Hydra break soon. I think he basically just, well, look at all the Zealots hanging around the robotics facility. Ooh, Reavers, shuttles, they're cool. Okay, whatever.